Hey guys, I'm back! And after a week full of stress, pain, torture, homework, classwork, projects, the highest of joys, the lowest of tragedies, I finally returned to make YouTube videos. Yep. Now this is a Patreon sponsor video. And shout out to the absolute mad lad known as Jordan the Great. He donated $100 to me. Now he did that in response to a joke I made, asking you guys, oh, you should also, donate to my Patreon so I can get this cool book so I can make more videos about it. And he did. He donated $100 to me, which, thanks a lot, man. It's just wow. I never expected anyone to donate that high. I mean, I kinda did expect people to donate, but not by that huge amount. And yes, like the true supreme gentleman that I am, I bought the book since I'm a man of my word. And I am planning to make a couple of videos talking about some of the cool artwork that's in the, the book itself. Some of the artwork that was never revealed before and stuff like that. I know that the book came out a while ago and, it's not really entirely breaking news information anymore. But since when has that stopped me from talking about, information that has been out there for quite a while? I mean, look at all the missing character videos. This is information that has been available for years, and it's still getting a decent amount of support. So I'm gonna, keep on doing it. So yeah, really quickly before we begin, I was gonna make that Transformers Elite video, but Patreon takes priority over my regular projects. So I'm sorry, Jackie Prime. I feel really bad because I keep postponing this. Like I said, last year I said, oh, I'm definitely gonna do it. This year I said, I'm gonna do it as well, and then left it all the way to December. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. But I swear on my beautiful anime waifu that's totally real that I will make that video. Eventually. But anyways, so Jordan the Great requested for me to talk about Rollbar. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Wait, didn't you already talk about that guy? Well, yeah, but he brought an interesting point that I wasn't aware of when I made the original Rollbar video. Talking about, his Age of Extinction appearance. And that is that Rollbar has not one, not two, but 3 different incarnations in the movie franchise. Now, I don't mean the movies themselves, because obviously we never saw Rollbar in the movies. But when I mean the movie franchise, I mean like comics, toys, and so on. Now, the thing with covering characters that, are toy exclusive or comic exclusive is that most of the time these guys were meant to appear in the actual movie. I covered this plenty of times before. You have Springer, you have Depth Charge, you have Salvage and Longarm, the list goes on. Now, while we don't have any confirmation that Rollbar was supposed to make it into the movie, there are some interesting aspects about this character first. I'm not gonna go over the Age of Extinction version of Rollbar too much because honestly I already made a video about that. You guys can just go and check it out at your own leisure. So, go over there, come right back if you haven't. If not, I'll just give you an abridged version of, what the deal with Rollbar in Age of Extinction is. So, Hasbro never really, Michael Bay never really planned on making the RC car an actual Transformer. That was one of those red herrings that, belonged to Michael Bay's misinformation campaign. Like, he will actively get extra cars on set, extra vehicles, spread false rumors in order to, hide details about his film. The RC car was one of those. And Hasbro, looking at the opportunity, seeking to capitalize on such a good-looking car, decided to, grab an old generation toy line skids and just remold it and rework it into a new character for the Age of Extinction toy line, which turned out to be Rollbar. And that's pretty much it for Rollbar. He was never meant to appear in the movie. Michael Bay basically used them as fake news and Hasbro kinda ran with it. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole summary of that. But besides that, Rollbar has also had 2 different appearances in the Revenge of the Fallen toy line. So first I'm gonna start with the thing that Jordan the Great asked me to talk about, and that is Rollbar's appearance here. He appears as a delivery van. I would like to see more Transformers that turn into vans. Like, we rarely see those. It's mostly cars, trucks, jets, tanks, motorcycles. But I mentioned this before, I want to see more variety like this. It's not very often in which we see a Transformers that transforms into a van. But anyways, I'm gonna read you his bio. Okay, Rollbar is happiest when he's following orders. So he's a beta male. He is uncomfortable with improvisation and terrified of being put into a leadership position. Despite that, he's a highly skilled navigator. and has a keen mind for tactics, making him an invaluable asset to his comrades. He's extremely strong, and though he prefers not to fight, he can be a challenge to Decepticons many times his size. I mean, he's a delivery man, I'm assuming he's pretty big. But this guy has a strength of 9, intelligence 7, speed 5, endurance 9, rank 5, courage 6, fire plus 6, skill 6. Huh, 666. I wonder if that was intentional. But yeah, his stats are good, they're not the best, but I do feel like this guy can definitely hold his own in a fight. Now, the interesting part here is not his stats or, the way he looks himself. Although I should also mention that his robot mode is actually inspired by Optimus Prime's early, design look in the movies. There's a clear similarity in the way their heads look, which I found to be really interesting. Now, I'm gonna read you Rollbar's Age of Extinction bio, and tell me if this sounds familiar. Rollbar is perfectly satisfied taking orders. He rejects even thinking about being a leader, yet he's still both intelligent and a skilled fighter, characteristics that make him a true soldier. His bio is extremely similar to his Revenge of the Fallen counterpart, and we'll go back to that in a second. Right now I want to cover the older Rollbar, and that's the RPM Rollbar. Now you guys might be thinking, Fire, what's RPM for me who, wasn't around the Revenge of the Fallen craze? Well, RPM is an acronym for Robot Powered Machines. Really creative, Hasbro. While Rollbar looks like, this, a truck in Revenge of the Fallen, in other cases he also looks like this, which is completely different than his current, delivery van vehicle mode. This is also another version of how he looks like. He's basically a Redeco Dune Runner. And I actually used to have that toy, and it's really good. I actually really liked it. The problem is that it's way too small, especially when you use it in comparison with Studio Series. He comes as a deluxe class toy, and then he also comes into this, weird toy where they don't transform. Seriously, Hasbro, why would you release that in a franchise called Transformers? This guy's clearly different from the Rollbar that I just talked about. So we have the RPM Rollbar, we got the Delivery Band Rollbar, and we got the Age of Extinction Rollbar. One of Jordan the Great's question was, why is there so many Rollbars and are they the same person? Well, considering that RPM Rollbar and Roth, I'm sure people are gonna make fun of me for that in the comments down below. Their toys that came around at the same time, which was the Revenge of the Fallen, craze, and by the time Hasbro put the toy line out there, I'm sure that these two are supposed to be different people. It's just that Hasbro got lazy or they weren't paying attention, which honestly, it wouldn't be the first time. And we have two Rollbars. Either that or Hasbro just got lazy and made this Rollbar look different because they couldn't bother to, make another truck mold for the RPM toy line. Interesting fact about the RPM Rollbar, it says he was trained by IRONHIDE himself. And this guy's personality is also a bit different than the Delivery Band and Age of Extinction Rollbar. So I'm guessing we can say that the RPM Rollbar is supposed to be a different entity than Revenge of the Fallen in Age of Extinction. It's like the Grimlock situation from the Aligned continuity. We have Grimlock from fellow Cybertron, and then we have Robots in Disguise Grimlock. Grimlock is just a common name. It's like, your name's George, and you, let's say, travel to another town and then find someone else that's also named George. It's one of those situations. It actually has a simple solution. And then we have Revenge of the Fallen and Age of Extinction Rollbar. Are they the same person? I think they're meant to be. The problem is that it's hard to tell, honestly. It's not really uncommon for a Transformer to look one way and later down the line for them to look completely different than they originally did. It has happened before, and that could always be the case. The TF Wiki although labels them as being separate entities, with Revenge of the Fallen Rollbar and Age of Extinction Rollbar. So, what do I think? I think Hasbro just got lazy and they just happened to realize, hey, we have another character named Rollbar, let's just, use some of that bio so we don't have to, think of a detailed backstory. And that's what happened. So now we have 3 different people named Rollbar in the Transformers movie toy line, which, it's interesting. It's really interesting. But yeah, 3 different Rollbars, 3 different people. Hasbro got lazy, Hasbro remembered Rollbar, and then they reused them for Age of Extinction. But since they were really unclear whether, Transformers toy characters are canon or non-canon, or do exist in the movie universe or they don't exist, it's a mess. That's basically what this is. It's a mess. But then that leaves the question, why does Hasbro, make toys out of characters that never make it into the movie? Like Rollbar over here, because Hasbro, didn't act into the movie and they just reused some other assets. Now we have 3 Rollbars, which are not even the same people and causes a bit of confusion. And the answer is simple, to sell toys. The reason why, we get Transformers toys that, never appear in the movie, like Depth Charge, Springer, Rollbar, the first female Decepticon in the movie franchise. It's the same reason why in the Last Night Toyline we got the Dinobots that, not all of them were in the movie. We got Slash, who definitely wasn't in Age of Extinction or The Last Night. It's the reason why we get characters like Hotshot for the Age of Extinction toyline despite him not being in the movie, because Hasbro wants to sell toys, and a lot of these toys, especially after Dark of the Moon, Hasbro gets a bit lazy and basically decides to recolor, remold, and reuse some old assets. Age of Extinction Rollbar over here is just a remold of Generation Skits. Rollbar over here is just a remold of a character that was released in the same toyline. And this Rollbar over here is also a remold and a recolor of another character that also appear in the same toyline. And a lot of the times Hasbro, for the stuff that doesn't make it into the movies, they just throw it into the toyline, because while the movies are being produced, Hasbro's already making toys so they can, match the release of the movie and capitalize on its success and all the little kids buying toys. So the reason why we get so many characters is usually because they were more or less at some point planned to be in the movie. Those that don't make it, get their toys released, they still get their toys released and people buy them because, gotta catch them all. It has that Pokemon appeal where you just wanna see all the different Autobots and all the different Decepticons and, buy them. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I collect, some of my Transformers figures. It's because I like them as individual characters and the way they look, and I think they're pretty neat. And I wanna have more, It has that, wanna catch them all appeal. The same thing here is what's happening to Rollbar. I can say with at least, 70% surety that Revenge of the Fallen Rollbar was meant to appear in the movie, but somewhere during production he was probably cut, and Hasbro just, released his toy, because before he got cut they were already making toys of different characters, and Rollbar was one of those characters. Age of Extinction Rollbar, since they weren't nearly as many Autobots or Decepticons in the movie itself, Hasbro decided to fill the void by, making some recolors, redecos, which, gave us Rollbar over here. A character to fill that space, because in comparison to a lot of the other movies, Age of Extinction had the least, Autobots and Decepticons for Hasbro to work with. And the same thing can be said of here about RPM Rollbar. He's kind of just here because, the RPM toyline needed more characters and Rollbar was chosen. And because of that, Hasbro was like, let's not waste too much money doing this, let's just to fill space, this new Rollbar was created. And that's about it, honestly. There's not much to talk about with Rollbar over here. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, and a cool bit of value is that Rollbar over here has a rivalry with Sideways, which I find that really cool. Shame he doesn't go anywhere. But anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Shout out goes to our patrons, Morais Prime, iPost Fate, Mario Gordon, Predator King Hunter Plays, and the absolute MacLeod himself, Jordan the Great, who donated $100. Thanks a lot for donating guys, it's much appreciated. Shout out goes to their channels, links in the description down below and in the comments down below. Make sure to go check them out, they need all the help they can get. And if you guys want to shout out your subs, all you have to do is donate. By donating to my Patreon, you get access to some of my videos early, you can request your own videos, do a collab with me, ask me to cover a variety of different topics that are Transformers related, or they could also be non-Transformers related. It's up to you, and you get plenty of freedom to choose. But yeah, shout out to my Patrons, thank you guys for donating, it's really appreciated. And if you guys want to donate, you already know what to do. Just keep in mind that this is completely optional, I'm not forcing you to do so, and I don't want you to feel pressure to do so. If you want to support me, go and do so, and if you don't want to, just watch my videos, it's simple as that. But thank you for all your support guys. Anyway, so Jordan the Great, the absolute MacLeod. I'm gonna make videos about the book that I purchased, and I have so many topics ready and I don't know where to start. And since you donated $100 to me, I feel like this video is not gonna be enough to pay you back. So if you wanna collaborate one of my videos or request another video, you certainly can, you definitely earn it. So just message me on Patreon and we'll see. But anyways guys, that's it for this video. Jackie Prime, if you're watching this, Transformers Elite is coming next. I promise on my waifu's name. Yeah, Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. I promise I'm gonna make the Transformers Elite episode that's super overdue, and after that I'll see what video I do next. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Also, don't forget to donate to my Patreon.